So, I've been looking at the various different forms of kryptonite lately, and I have an idea about how to make them work with the various different canonical stories and Smallville and so on. Like compositing what works as a more solid canon. So the way I figure it is you can have 5 basic types of kryptonite, and all other forms of kryptonite are derivatives or attempted copies of those 5 basic forms of kryptonite. So you have your white, your green, your red, your gold, and your blue. Stick with me now. In an episode of Smallville, Lana gets sent a black kryptonite rock with a vein of silver kryptonite within it. Now we know that, according to Smallville canon, black kryptonite comes from superheated green kryptonite. Now, we also know from the comics that in general there's 2 types of green kryptonite, one of which is called X kryptonite. And X kryptonite gives humans superpowers. Orange kryptonite gives superpowers to animals, but considering it's kryptonite and animals and humans aren't really all that genetically different. I mean, we're all basically from the same evolutionary domain. It would stand to reason that both orange kryptonite and X kryptonite are likely derived from, are likely to give a person superpowers. So the idea here is that because green kryptonite can be superheated into black kryptonite, obviously the silver kryptonite would have to be logically derived from red kryptonite based on Smallville canon. Now, of the many forms of kryptonite we have as follows: orange, pink, X kryptonite, periwinkle, black, silver, etc. My idea is that gold kryptonite combined with white kryptonite leads to orange kryptonite. The orange kryptonite meshes with the other form of kryptonite and it changes its effects. Red kryptonite plus white kryptonite equals pink kryptonite. Green kryptonite plus white kryptonite equals X kryptonite. Blue plus white, periwinkle. Now, blue kryptonite is known in Smallville for making Clark lose his powers, but it has other effects. Periwinkle in general has an effect on Kryptonian physiology that is akin to making them drunk. Pink kryptonite, like red kryptonite, messes with their minds. Orange kryptonite can give people powers, but gold kryptonite is known to completely wipe out Kryptonian powers. Now, my idea is that gold kryptonite actually supercharges a part of Kryptonian's physiology so that the Kryptonian's powers actually burn out, physiologically speaking. So my idea is gold kryptonite on Krypton itself could actually have been used to stimulate their powers, and blue kryptonite affects not their physical powers but their ability to see different forms of radiation. Now, red plus white equaling pink, it works because red superheated would make silver, just as green superheated would make black. Green kryptonite messes with a Kryptonian's physiology. Black kryptonite can split a Kryptonian apart. Green kryptonite or X kryptonite, whichever the canonical route is for Smallville's brand of kryptonite, Smallville uses green kryptonite. Whichever form of green kryptonite Smallville uses has an effect on physics, at least from what I can gather from the series. Remember, there is an episode of Smallville where Pete gets involved in racing, and essentially the race cars use this green kryptonite turbine power. Essentially, the point of the racing episode is that green kryptonite accelerates kinetic forces, which would explain Alicia Baker. So, white kryptonite. What is white kryptonite? You might have heard of green kryptonite being, Superman's Achilles heel, gold kryptonite making Clark lose his power, blue kryptonite temporarily taking away Kryptonian's power, red kryptonite messing with their minds. White kryptonite, essentially, when Superman grabs it, there is an effect where he drains the life out of plants. It's like that scene in the Batman v Superman animated, not that fucking Snyder bullshit. I mean, basically, white kryptonite. Basically, after Superman got hit by a nuke, he absorbed the life out of plants around him. So that's my idea of white kryptonite. That's basically the gist of white kryptonite. A Kryptonian holds it, and it steals the life from plants and animals around it. So we had an episode of Smallville where a guy can literally drain the life out of you. So what if white kryptonite basically messes with the interactive force, meshes with the green kryptonite, meshes with the gold kryptonite, meshes with the red kryptonite, meshes with the blue kryptonite, and affects what type of power is within them. Now, there's no reason why specific radiation would give people superpowers in the realm of we live in a world that's governed by actual physics. But what if the kryptonite forms are actually contain living energy, different forms of living energy, and basically they're a remnant of this long lost time from when Rao, Krypton's son, was yellow. before it turned into a red giant. Now we know that blue kryptonite has been known to have the exact same effect as green kryptonite does on Superman. Blue kryptonite is something that you use against Bizarro. Green kryptonite leading to meteor freaks, obviously. Black kryptonite splitting people apart. Now the idea here is that green kryptonite is the polar opposite of gold kryptonite, and that these 5 forms of kryptonite are all different forms of biology on Krypton, different remains of biology on Krypton. What if there was a highly advanced society before Krypton which got into a war, and that war led to Krypton's sun becoming giant and vaporizing most of the world's culture around Krypton? Kryptonians would lose their powers because they're not under a yellow sun, and also the resulting event would create a sector of space where time is just different. So the idea is that gold kryptonite in this post-collapse era would super empower people, give them super strength, or in general flying abilities, while blue kryptonite would be used to let them see through walls. Blue kryptonite giving Kryptonian part of Kryptonian biology that handles the perception of radiation a bit of a push, and people would develop these strange eyes like Namek from Smallville late season 4, end of season 4, early season 5. In between seasons, there was this guy called Namek with these very particular looking eyes, and the idea is mystics use the blue kryptonite while kings use the gold kryptonite, and both kryptonites, when you use a gold kryptonite rock against the blue kryptonite empowered person, it stagnates the power that person can gain from the blue kryptonite, and vice versa. Gold kryptonite takes away super seeing for the blue kryptonite society. And the idea is, by having both blue and gold in among the council of Kryptonian hierarchy, essentially their effects still work, but at a much, much weaker level, and that could have led to Kryptonian biology developing separately from other close-by Kryptonian offshoots. So, depending on what type of kryptonite is most common in a society, which derives its culture from Krypton, its biology from Krypton, these 5 forms of kryptonite that are canonically in existence, but in this idea are the result of derivatives of them. The idea is, depending on what types of kryptonite you have in your society, it changes your biology in a way where you could be really, really strong but vulnerable to lead, because your strength is a result of your body mimicking gold kryptonite energies, but the lead would repel whatever, and you would therefore blah blah blah. And also I have this idea that maybe blue kryptonite or gold kryptonite is essentially the blood, blue kryptonite and gold kryptonite are essentially the blood of the gods. So Rao, as a person, leaks gold energy from his blood leaks gold energy, and over time the gold crystals which have grown from his blood have spread across Krypton. Blue kryptonite, a result of Chitona's, I think that was her name's blood, and green kryptonite, white kryptonite, red kryptonite, all of these from different physiological roots of Kryptonian society. And the idea here is Kryptonian society became super advanced. They actually colonized the sun, and Kryptonian physiology way back when had specific energies which empowered their biology, hard-coded into their biology, and their gods were actually their leaders, which gained specific biological energy weapons. The physical leaders of these people had energy as their super weapons, their own biology's energy as their super weapons, and there's this biological age of mutation. So Rao and his family versus Chitona and her family versus all these other families of Kryptonite originating Kryptonian gods. And when the cataclysm, when the sun turned red, the resulting shift in gravity led to Krypton's surface getting fucked up and people, their society mutating and whatever, and things just sort of happened this way. And that's why you have all these various forms of kryptonite, and that would have been awesome to see in a trailer, or a hint of something like that in a trailer about a series called Krypton that's supposed to be about this very, very advanced society way back when. I mean, it annoys me. Like, there is so much potential, but I don't see a smidgen of it in this trailer, so boo. Boo, Krypton. Boo. You can be so much more. Bye.